what are question word and how do we use it? Okay. How many question words you have done already? Okay. Have you done with how many and how much also? How many and how much? Look, how is different and how many and how much they are different. There is a difference between both. Any idea? When do we say how many and when do we say how much? Okay. And what about how many? Mhm. Okay. No, no, no. This is not the way. Okay, right. It's okay, but let us understand this thing. Look, first of all, how many and how much, they both are question words. They are just like other question words which we have already done with, you have already done with, right? For example, we have already talked about when, why, how, you have done it, right? But how many and how much, they are quite different from others, right? How they are different? I'll tell you. First of all, how many we use for the countable things, for the countable things, the things we can count. So whenever you have a confusion whether something is countable or not, then what you can do, you start putting 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me give you some example of countable things. For example, boys in a class, girls in a class, pens, cards, bottles, means which you can count by putting one, two. Blankets, yes. So that is known as, this is known as countable. So if things are countable, then we are going to use how many. If things are not countable, if things are not countable, then in that condition we will use how much. Now, can you tell me what thing is there which is not countable? Water, very good. Water is not countable. Mind is also not countable. Talk is also not countable, right? So whenever we want to say countable things, we want to know about countable things, we will use how many. And whenever we want to say non-countable things or uncountable things, then we can say how much, right? Both. We are going to, for both, we are going to follow this pattern. First of all, we will put question word. Question word is, it can be how many or how much. Then we will put time word. Time word can be either I'm asking with present, so there I'll use do and does. If I'm asking in past, then I'll use did. If I'm asking in future, then I will use will. And doer means किससे पूछ रहे हैं, right? To whom I'm asking. You, he, she, they, and then work. Work means what I'm asking for. Okay. So this is the formula we need to follow. Now let us see this thing. So how many we use for countable things? So you can see some countable things here: pens, books, mobile phones, pair of shoes, siblings. Do you know who are siblings? What is sibling? Do you know? Yeah, tell me. Yes, number of brothers and sisters, they are known as siblings. And chapatis. So these all things are countable, right? So we can directly talk about like this. For example, let us take the example of chapati. Now I want to ask to you chapati, and I want to know number of chapatis. So I will say like this. Okay, tell me how many chapatis will you take? How many chapatis will you take? So answer will be, I will take 5 chapatis, I will take 10 chapatis, I will take 3 chapatis, like this. Have you understood? So this is the one thing. Apart from this, you can also make sentence like this. How many? Just give me 1 minute, okay? Give me 1 minute. Okay, yeah, can you hear me? Okay, so what I was saying, apart from saying like this, you can say also like this. How many pens do you have? Now this do you have, I told you in a different way. How many pens have you got? So both the thing you can use. How many pens have you got? Right? How many books did he need? So like this, we can make the sentence with how many. Now tell me, any doubt in this? So like this, we can ask. So can I ask you some question with how many now? Okay, tell me. How many siblings do you have? Okay. How many pair of shoes do you have? Okay. How many books have you read as of now? I have read. I have read. Okay. Only one book you have read? Okay. Number is very less. Okay. How many chapatis do you take in a day? In a day, complete day. Meaning freeze morning to night. Okay. Okay. Uh, fine. So I think now you have understood all this thing, right? All the things, whatever I told you, all the things are for the countable things, the things which we can count. If things are countable, then we can use how many. If things are not countable, for that we are going to use how much, right? Clear? So how much we use for the things which are uncountable in nature. For example, money is uncountable. Water, okay, money is countable or uncountable? Okay, no, money is uncountable. Let me prove it. Right, see, money is counted in the form of currency. So currency is countable, money is not countable, right? How? For example, if I want to tell you money, right? So if I'll say कि आपके पास कितना पैसा है, then I will say like this, how much money do you have? If I say now I want to reply, then I will say I have 100 rupees, let's say. So rupee is the currency. I have $200. So dollar is currency again. So money is uncountable. The money in which the money is counted, that is currency, that is countable. Similarly, water is uncountable, but liter is countable. 5 liters, 6 liters, 10 liters, like this. Mind is uncountable, but there is nothing like in which we can measure it. So remember this thing, all the units are countable in which we measure it. For example, we measure water in liter, we measure money in currency. I don't know how we measure mind. We measure property in number of houses, plots, flats, and all, and nothing like talk. So all these things are uncountable. So remember this thing I have written also. The units are always countable in nature. Okay. So now tell me, how much water do you take in a day? How much water do you take in a day? No. It is uncountable. So either you can reply like this, I take enough water in a day. Right? Or you can say like this, I take 5 liters of water in a day. I take 3 liters of water in a day. Right? So like this you can reply. Have you got my point? So that is how we can ask with how much and how many. Okay, now can you ask me question with how many and how much? Two question. Two question from how many? Two question from how much? Okay. I have two mobile phones. Okay. I have two mobile phones. Hmm. Okay. I have one scooty. Yes. How many and how much? You can use both. Either you can ask with how many or you can ask with how much. Yes, yes. You do one thing, you take 2 minutes and you make the sentence with how many and how much. Right? So those who are watching me live, they can also ask question with how many and how much. You know very well, today we are having the topic of how many and how much. How many, let me remind once again, how many we use whenever we want to talk about countable things. The things which are countable, for that we use how many. Things which are not countable, for that we use how much. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ आई टॉक अबाउट बॉटल, तो बोतल की अगर हम बात करें तो बोतल जो है वो काउंटेबल है, तो वी विल से लाइक दिस कि दिस बॉटल इज काउंटेबल, तो वी विल से हाउ मेनी बॉटल्स डू यू हैव. If I talk about water, then water is uncountable, but in which we measure the water, that is countable, that is liter. So how many liters of water do you take and how much water do you take? This is how we can make the sentences. This is how we can do it. Okay, so I hope this how many and how much is clear to all of you. Now I'm asking one last question to you. Let me know in the comment section below after this live. This live will finish. Tell me what about stars? Are star or is star or is are stars countable or not? Right? Stars are countable or not? You need to tell me this thing. Right? We have done with multiple countable things and uncountable things. If you have not seen that, then you can go through it. Okay, so that is all for today, and that is all for how many and how much topic that we have done with. If you have any doubt, then you can drop your doubts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for joining. Take care.